The Sun, the central star of our solar system, has been the subject of human fascination and scientific study for centuries. As our technological capabilities have advanced, so too has our ability to observe the Sun with increasing precision and detail. Over the years, a number of strange objects have been seen close to our Sun, captured by various space observatories and solar missions. These anomalies, ranging from peculiar shapes to unexpected movements, have sparked intrigue and speculation within both the scientific community and the general public. One such mystery was discovered by an amateur astronomer who, while examining images from the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, stumbled upon a large black circular object seemingly drawing energy from the Sun. The Solar and Heliospheric Observatory satellite, a collaborative project between NASA and the European Space Agency, has been observing the Sun since its launch in 1995. Equipped with advanced instruments, it captures high-resolution images of the Sun's atmosphere and solar wind, providing invaluable data for solar scientists. These images are publicly available, allowing both professionals and amateur astronomers to explore and analyze solar phenomena. An avid skywatcher and amateur astronomer was meticulously scanning the latest Solar and Heliospheric Observatory satellite images. While reviewing a series of images taken over several days, he noticed something unusual: a large, perfectly circular black object near the Sun. This object appeared to be stationary, with what looked like a thin, dark filament extending from its lower edge into the solar surface. Intrigued and baffled, he documented his findings and began sharing them with social media pages that share mysterious photographs. The black object in the images measured larger than Earth, making it an enormous structure. Its circular shape was remarkably precise, and the mysterious arms connecting it to the Sun gave the impression of a tether or conduit. This seemed to pulsate with solar activity, suggesting an interaction between the object and the Sun's energy. One of the most astonishing aspects of his discovery was the apparent energy transfer between the Sun and the black object. The object's dynamic behavior, coupled with subtle fluctuations in the Sun's corona around the connection point, indicated that the object might be siphoning energy from the Sun. Such a process, if genuine, would require a technology or mechanism far beyond our current understanding. The most popular and sensational theory proposed by UFO enthusiasts and some researchers is that the object is an advanced extraterrestrial craft. Its immense size, precise shape, and ability to interact with the Sun's energy point to a technology that humanity cannot yet comprehend. Proponents of this theory suggest that the object could be refueling or drawing power for unknown purposes, possibly related to propulsion or sustaining life support systems. Another theory posits that the object is a previously unknown natural astronomical phenomenon. This explanation suggests that the object could be a type of plasma structure or a large magnetically confined area of space debris. The energy transfer observed might be a natural interaction between the Sun's magnetic field and this object. However, the perfectly circular shape challenges this hypothesis, as natural celestial bodies and phenomena rarely exhibit such geometric precision. Skeptics argue that the black object might be an artifact of the imaging process, such as a shadow or glitch in the data. While the spacecraft's instruments are highly advanced, they are not immune to technical anomalies. This theory suggests that the object could be the result of data processing errors or malfunctions in the imaging equipment. However, the consistency and duration of the object's presence across multiple images make this explanation less likely. If the black object near the Sun is indeed real, its study could revolutionize our understanding of solar physics and energy dynamics. Scientists would need to develop new models to explain the interaction between the Sun and this object, potentially leading to breakthroughs in astrophysics and space technology. The discovery could also prompt a re-evaluation of solar observation techniques and instrumentation to better detect and analyze such anomalies. The possibility of the object being an advanced craft raises profound questions about the existence of advanced civilizations beyond Earth. If confirmed, it would provide the first tangible evidence of extraterrestrial technology, fundamentally altering our perspective on humanity's place in the universe. This discovery would likely accelerate the search for extraterrestrial intelligence and foster international collaboration in space exploration and research. the man's discovery has already generated significant public interest and speculation. The mysterious nature of the object and its dramatic interaction with the sun capture the imagination, fueling debates and discussions across social media and forums. This heightened interest underscores the importance of transparency and open access to astronomical data, allowing enthusiasts and professionals alike to contribute to our collective understanding of the cosmos. Since its launch in 1995, the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory has provided continuous, high-resolution images of the Sun. Designed primarily to study the Sun's outer atmosphere and solar wind, it has inadvertently captured numerous anomalies that have intrigued scientists and UFO enthusiasts alike. Among these anomalies are sightings of large, often metallic-looking objects near the Sun, which have come to be interpreted by some as UFOs. Several sightings have stood out over the years. One of the most significant occurred in March 2012, when a massive, spherical object appeared in images of the Sun. This object, which seemed to be tethered to the Sun by a thin filament, led to speculations that it was drawing energy from the Sun. The UFOs observed near the Sun vary in size and shape. Some are spherical, while others appear as cubes, cylinders, or other geometric forms. These objects are often described as massive, with some estimates suggesting they could be several times the size of Earth. Their well-defined shapes and immense sizes differentiate them from typical solar phenomena like flares or coronal mass ejections. The behavior of these objects is another point of intrigue. Many sightings suggest that these UFOs exhibit controlled movements, often positioning themselves near the Sun and then moving away at high speeds. The filament-like connections observed in some instances imply a deliberate interaction with the Sun, possibly to extract energy or for some other unknown purpose. Another theory posits that these objects could be sophisticated solar observation platforms operated by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Positioned near the Sun, these platforms could be studying solar activity or gathering data on our solar system. Their proximity to the Sun would provide a unique vantage point for observing solar phenomena and potentially detecting other planets or spacecraft within our solar system. While this hypothesis is compelling, some scientists suggest that these objects might be natural but currently unexplained phenomena. They could be large plasma formations, unusual magnetic structures, or other solar anomalies that we do not yet fully understand. The distinct shapes and behaviors of these objects, however, make this explanation less satisfying to many observers. These sightings would significantly bolster efforts in the search for extraterrestrial life. Confirming the presence of advanced technology near the Sun would suggest that intelligent civilizations are actively exploring and utilizing our solar system. This could lead to increased funding and interest in projects aimed at detecting and communicating with extraterrestrial beings. Studying these UFOs could provide insights into advanced propulsion systems, energy extraction methods, and other technological innovations. If we could understand and replicate even a fraction of the technology observed, it could lead to transformative advancements in our own technological capabilities. Among the numerous solar phenomena observed, sightings of black cube-shaped UFOs near the Sun have garnered significant attention and intrigue. The cube-shaped UFOs are notable for their sharp geometric edges and dark appearance. Unlike natural solar phenomena, which typically have irregular and diffuse forms, these cubes stand out due to their precise shapes. Estimates based on their size relative to the Sun suggest that these objects are immense, potentially several times the size of Earth. The stark contrast between their darkness and the Sun's brightness makes them highly conspicuous in the images. The behavior of these cube-shaped UFOs is equally perplexing. In many instances, they seem to remain stationary, unaffected by the Sun's intense gravitational and magnetic forces. Other sightings depict them moving at high speeds, sometimes appearing or disappearing abruptly. This erratic behavior further distinguishes them from known natural phenomena and mechanical artifacts. One of the most compelling theories is that these cube-shaped UFOs represent advanced extraterrestrial technology. Their geometric precision, immense size, and ability to withstand extreme solar conditions suggest a level of engineering far beyond human capabilities. Some researchers propose that these cubes might be enormous spacecraft or space stations designed for unknown purposes, such as energy harvesting, observation, or interstellar travel. Another intriguing hypothesis posits that these cubes are solar harvesting stations. Given their proximity to the Sun and apparent stability in such a hostile environment, it is conceivable that they are designed to extract energy directly from the Sun. This theory aligns with sightings where the cubes appear to be tethered to the Sun by filaments, possibly siphoning solar energy for advanced technological uses. A less conventional but fascinating theory suggests that these cube-shaped UFOs are manifestations of dimensional or temporal anomalies. This perspective argues that the cubes might be artifacts from parallel dimensions or future timelines intersecting with our reality near the Sun. Such anomalies could explain their sudden appearance and disappearance and their resistance to the Sun's forces. Studying these cube-shaped UFOs could yield transformative technological advancements. Understanding their design and functionality might inspire new technologies in energy harvesting, space travel, and materials science. Such breakthroughs could have profound implications for our technological development and the future of space exploration. The idea of extraterrestrial civilizations harnessing energy from stars is not new. In 1960, physicist Freeman Dyson proposed the concept of a Dyson sphere, a hypothetical megastructure that could encompass a star to capture its energy output. While a full Dyson sphere might be impractical due to engineering constraints, the principle behind it remains compelling. A more feasible approach could involve smaller, mobile energy harvesting platforms or devices positioned close to the star, extracting energy directly from its immense output. For UFOs to utilize the Sun's energy, they would require technology capable of withstanding extreme temperatures and intense radiation. This could include advanced materials far beyond current human capabilities, capable of maintaining structural integrity and operational efficiency in the harshest conditions. Moreover, these technologies would need to efficiently convert solar energy into usable power, likely through mechanisms more sophisticated than our most advanced solar panels. Over the years, SOHO has captured numerous images showing unidentified objects near the Sun. Among these, sightings of large, geometrically precise objects have been particularly intriguing. These objects often appear to remain stationary or move in ways that suggest deliberate control, exhibiting behaviors inconsistent with known natural phenomena. One possible mechanism for energy extraction involves magnetic confinement. In this scenario, a UFO could use powerful magnetic fields to create a protective barrier against the Sun's heat and radiation. Within this magnetic shield, the UFO could deploy instruments to siphon off solar energy, possibly by capturing charged particles from the solar wind or directly absorbing radiant energy. Another plausible method is photovoltaic conversion, but on a scale far exceeding current human technology. An advanced civilization might develop photovoltaic materials with efficiencies approaching theoretical maximums, capable of converting a significant portion of the Sun's radiation into electrical energy. These materials could be part of large, adaptive arrays that continuously orient themselves to optimize energy capture. The Sun emits a constant stream of charged particles, known as the solar wind. A UFO positioned within the Sun's corona could potentially harvest this plasma, using it as a direct energy source. Advanced electromagnetic fields could channel these particles into containment systems, where their kinetic energy could be converted into electricity or used to power other technologies. As civilizations advance, their energy requirements grow exponentially. Harnessing the energy of a star could provide a virtually limitless power source, supporting everything from interstellar travel to large-scale manufacturing and communication networks. For an advanced civilization, the Sun's energy would be an invaluable resource, far outstripping the capabilities of any planetary energy system. Beyond energy needs, the proximity to a star like the Sun could offer strategic advantages. Monitoring and controlling such a significant energy source could be crucial for maintaining technological and defensive superiority. Additionally, positioning near the Sun allows for rapid, energy-efficient travel within the solar system, enabling quick responses to various needs and challenges. The concept of UFOs harnessing the Sun's energy provides a tantalizing vision of what advanced technology might achieve. It could inspire new research into high-efficiency energy conversion, advanced materials, and space-based energy harvesting. By striving to understand and emulate these capabilities, humanity could accelerate its technological progress. Sweden, a country known for its serene landscapes and scientific prowess, has also been the site of numerous UFO sightings that captivate both the public and researchers. These sightings, treated here as real and genuine, offer a fascinating glimpse into the possibility of extraterrestrial visits. UFO sightings in Sweden date back to the early 20th century, with sporadic reports of strange lights and objects in the sky. However, it was during the post-World War II era that these sightings gained significant attention. During the early 1940s, the majority of the reported sightings of unidentified flying objects would be made over the Scandinavian skies after tens of thousands of residents from isolated regions would describe strange encounters with craft later referred to as ghost reports. The Scandinavian ghost rockets are a type of unidentified flying object reported over the skies of Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and other surrounding countries throughout the 1940s. Many of the craft were described as appearing similar in shape to a squashed walnut or a wingless aircraft with only the fuselage. The craft have been described as emitting a flame occasionally from the back end of the fuselage and capable of maneuvering mid-flight. Several eyewitnesses have been able to calculate the speed of the craft as having exceeded several hundred miles an hour, speed far in excess of any other known aircraft at the time of the sightings. After a series of mass sightings and local newspaper reports, the governments of the Scandinavian countries would be under order from the United States and United Kingdom to censor any reports surrounding the craft for the sake of national security. For many, the title of ghost rockets appeared to have been extremely unusual and gave rise to a feeling of almost supernatural connection. Despite this seemingly supernatural paranormal title, the ghost rockets were believed to have been physical objects and not ethereal manifestations. Several researchers of the unidentified flying object phenomena believed that the name ghost rockets was given to the sightings in order to reference similar bizarre events reported during the early 1930s, roughly 10 years prior to the ghost rockets incidents. Referred to as the ghost flyers, first starting in the early 1930s, reports of unknown aircraft were described by eyewitnesses across the Scandinavian skies. Although the first reports would be made out of Sweden, over the months, nearby Scandinavian countries and then European countries would make similar reports. One of the first published reports would be made on the 28th of January, back in 1934, in the Swedish Haparanda newspaper. The personnel of the Haparanda newspaper watched for several minutes around midnight Saturday as an aeroplane flew back and forth several times over the city. Because of the foggy weather, no light could be seen, but the sound of a very powerful engine was heard by everyone on the editorial staff. The aeroplane looked like a giant shadow in the air. 1 hour earlier, 10 people observed a plane over Haparanda, flying back and forth. Given the shadowy nature of the craft and the inability for the airplane to have been seen through the foggy weather, it would be given the name of ghost flyer, as it appeared to have been ghostly in appearance through the fog. Although unknown aircraft were not uncommon for European skies at the time of these sightings, it was usually the bizarre nature of the craft that was cause for alarm, such as the repeated back-and-forth patterns of their flight, their low altitude, and their mysterious designs. In other reports, the Haparanda shadow airplane sighting was remarked as having been massive in its shadowy appearance, far exceeding any expected aircraft size at the time of its sighting. On the 8th of February of 1934, another sighting of a ghost flyer was recorded that appeared to demonstrate abilities unlike typical aircraft. UFO researchers have often compared the sighting to modern-day UFO sightings, with the powerful searchlight a common description of modern-day sightings which include bright beams of light shining directly underneath the craft. Less than 8 days following this event, news of the reported ghost flyers would reach the United States, with the belief that the sightings were related to impending war developing across Europe. Reports across Europe and Scandinavia would continue to pour in over the following months, with many of the aircraft having been of strange designs and unexplainable behavior. One such notable incident was an aircraft that was described as having been far larger than a typical airplane, possessing an estimated 8 propellers, as it circled over water during the middle of the night for several hours before daybreak, only to disappear from the area completely before dawn. According to a large number of eyewitness sightings of the unidentified aircraft across the 3 countries, there was an alarming number of consistent reports made of silent hovering objects that were described by onlookers and local residents as ghost rockets. The ghost rockets were often detailed as appearing to be large, cigar-shaped, rocket-shaped, or blimp-shaped aircraft that demonstrated abilities impossible for known aircraft to have accomplished at the time, and appearing to be similar in texture to a ghostly apparition. Detailed in the vast majority of witness reports, the rockets were known for appearing out of nowhere, suddenly within the blink of an eye, and disappearing just as quickly, vanishing into thin air or shooting off at incredibly violent speeds impossible to replicate with any known technology at the time. A few of the ghost rocket apparitions were described as being larger than 60 meters in length, with other sightings described as appearing to have the physical characteristics of ghostly apparitions, with recounted stories emphasizing that the aircraft appeared to glow ethereal colors while demonstrating incredible violations of the basic laws of physics. According to the gathered data surrounding the countless ghost rocket reports throughout the late 1930s and the early 1940s, by February 26th of 1946, it is believed that more than 2,000 individual and consistent sightings had been documented across the three countries, with the inclusion of more than 200 of these sightings later verified by gathered radar intelligence from the surrounding military bases and radar installations. Although skeptic explanations for the sightings claimed that ghost rockets were nothing more than common meteoric showers that are known for occurring during specific months of the year, the majority of the peaks in sightings of ghost rockets were made during times that did not coincide with known meteor shower events and seemed to be sporadic and uncharacteristic of any past known meteoric behaviors, demonstrating abilities to maneuver, react, and change trajectories entirely. Sometime in early May of 1946, the newspaper Dagens Nyheter would report that sighting of two wingless, cigar-shaped craft spotted flying over the skies of Sweden late in the evening. According to the report, the sighting was reported by two night watchmen who would later state that the craft appeared to have had the dimensions of a small wingless airplane, which would shout out bunches of sparks from the back end of its body at regular intervals. At no point did the men claim that the craft was rocket-shaped, however, instead describing the craft as appearing similar to a flattened walnut. Shortly after this memo, the British and United States military would conduct a series of investigations into the phenomenon and refer to the sightings as ghost rockets. Although the United States government and the United Kingdom would assume that the culprit responsible for the ghost rockets were the Soviets, there was little evidence to support the claim. Even more problematic, many of the reported sightings of the craft were borderline incoherent in their behaviors and seemed to have been almost random or sporadic, with no reason to their sightings. In several reports, ghost rockets were reported as flying at tremendously high altitudes, with witnesses believing the craft to have looked like meteors or shooting stars 20 to 30,000 feet in the air, though moving intelligently and sometimes changing directions entirely. Other reports, almost in direct conflict with the reports of tremendously high altitude, would claim that many of the ghost rockets were seen flying and hovering at treetop level. Even more bizarre, a handful of reports described the mysterious craft as exploding in mid-air, sometimes bursting into a ball of flames or disappearing without a trace. In other incidents, the craft would appear to have been piloted intelligently, only to end up crashing into a nearby lake without any sign of having exploded. Though in most cases, many of the ghost rockets appeared to just continue flying until they were no longer within sight, several craft were reported as making sudden sharp-angle turns at tremendous speeds and changing courses as they flew. In several incidents, the mysterious craft were described as being an estimated 100 feet in length, whereas other eyewitnesses would describe the rocket as having been the size of a small private airplane. The speed of the craft also appeared to vary wildly, with some eyewitness reports describing the craft moving faster than any known military jet, or suddenly halting entirely, and appeared to have been almost hovering stationary. Some of the sightings of the ghost rockets also varied in audible noise, with the vast majority describing the craft as having been nearly completely silent, with only a handful having made an audible sound that could be destroyed as the roaring of a jet. Although the newspaper reports tend to over-exaggerate the claim, only a small minority of the unexplainable ghost rocket crafts were described as trailing plumes of smoke or emitting fire or sparks, with the vast majority of the reports describing no emissions tailing the craft whatsoever. Due to the wide variety of physical descriptions of the crafts, many government and military officials from the United States, United Kingdom, and nearby Scandinavian countries, believed that the variety was caused by the majority of the reports having been recorded from the eyewitness testimony of untrained observers who were unfamiliar with any type of aviatory craft. This would lead to an estimated 90% of the reports to be dismissed during investigation as misidentifications of natural atmospheric phenomena or misidentified military and civilian airplanes. Even more reports were dismissed as being nothing more than a case of mass hysteria coming from the sudden popularization of the reported strange craft due to newspaper outlets. Several military reports that would later be revealed by the Swedish government claimed that the prevailing theory among military officials at the time was that the frequently cited ghost rockets could have been an experimental craft created by captured German V-1 and V-2 missiles being launched from a nearby German rocket facility at Peenemünde and were now in use by the Soviet Union. Unidentified flying object and researchers believed that the declassified Swedish military documents were nothing more than an attempt at the Scandinavian governments to cover up the tremendous amount of intelligence gathered on the extraterrestrial ghost rockets, and would eventually lead to further cover-up attempts under the guise of a national security threat. Shortly after the reported number of sightings in 1946, the Swedish government secretly enforced a nationwide ban on the reporting of ghost rockets, giving credence to the theory that a coordinated cover-up event was taking place between all three countries. The official explanation would later be supplied by the Swedish military, with claims that the Swedish Army intelligence feared that reports of the ghost rockets would only lead to gathered data and information from outside countries that were responsible for the testing of the experimental aircraft, believing that if local newspapers or media outlets continued to write about and report the sightings of ghost rockets, the Soviet Union would be able to use the reports to gather valuable information on their rockets and where they were spotted. However, researchers believe that the ban was not done with the true purpose of preventing gathered intelligence from enemy countries, but was done to prevent a mass panic and allow the cover-up of those trying to make public any stories pertaining to unidentified flying objects and extraterrestrial craft. Following the nationwide ban, it would later be revealed that the Swedish government began conducting a series of their own top-secret investigations pertaining to the ghost rocket sightings. The most notable investigation took place on the 19th of July, back in 1946, when an eyewitness reported a large, grey, rocket-shaped object with airplane-like wings having crashed into Lake Kolmjav, located in Sweden. According to the eyewitness, he had first heard what sounded like a thunderclap before the craft landed in the waters, believing the craft to have exploded on contact with the water. After contacting local police, the Swedish military immediately travelled to the lake and began an extensive 3-week investigation in an attempt to recover any fragments of the missile craft and research the origins as to the aircraft's purpose and abilities. According to Carl Gosta Bartol, a Swedish Air Force officer who led the search, it was claimed that no fragments or objects were recovered from any downed aircraft in the region, but that there was obvious evidence that the lake bed had been greatly disturbed. Researchers believed that the official report made by Carl Gosta Bartol was purposefully misleading and inaccurate as to the nature of the investigation. Evidence of a possible cover-up would later be made obvious when, on the 10th of October in 1946, the Swedish Defence Staff would publicly admit that fragments were recovered from the Kolmjav object, but was explained away as being nothing more than ordinary mud. For many researchers on the topic, it would appear that following 1946, there was little evidence of gathered information on the ghost rockets, believing the military investigations were halted entirely and popularity on the topic had slowed down. Oddly enough, this did not appear to be the case, as evidence would later surface of involvement with the United States military in subsequent ghost rocket investigations. It was not until the 4th of November, back in 1948, a whole 2 years following the nationwide ban throughout the Scandinavian countries on reports relating to sightings of the ghost rockets, that a top-secret military document created by the United States Air Force Europe would provide details made by US military investigators that the ghost rockets were believed to have had advanced origins. The document would later become declassified in the United States in 1997 and details the following summary surrounding the ghost rockets investigations made as a joint force between the Swedish military and the United States military intelligence. Some skeptics propose that natural phenomena could account for certain sightings. Atmospheric conditions, Optical illusions and misidentified conventional aircraft are often cited as potential explanations. While these factors might explain a small number of incidents, they do not account for the detailed and consistent reports of structured, intelligently controlled craft. The persistence and consistency of UFO sightings in Sweden suggest that they warrant serious scientific investigation. Treating these incidents as genuine could lead to significant advancements in our understanding of physics, propulsion technology, and possibly even biology. Scientific inquiry should focus on collecting and analyzing physical evidence, improving detection technologies, and fostering international collaboration to share data and insights. The possibility of extraterrestrial life visiting Earth has profound implications for human society. It challenges our understanding of our place in the universe and could potentially alter cultural, religious, and philosophical perspectives. The psychological impact of these sightings can be significant, prompting fear, wonder, and a re-evaluation of our beliefs about life beyond Earth. Increased transparency from governments about their UFO investigations could enhance public trust and facilitate scientific research. Sweden's approach to investigating and documenting UFO sightings serves as a model for how other countries can responsibly address this phenomenon. Openness and collaboration are essential for advancing our understanding and addressing public curiosity and concern. Reports of UFO sightings have surged, with credible accounts from military personnel, pilots, and radar operators. These sightings often describe objects that exhibit advanced flight capabilities far beyond current human technology, such as rapid acceleration, abrupt maneuvers, and the ability to hover silently. The frequency and consistency of these reports suggest that UFOs are a persistent phenomenon that warrants serious attention. The advanced capabilities demonstrated by UFOs pose a significant challenge. These objects have been observed to perform maneuvers that defy the known laws of physics, such as right-angle turns at high speeds and sudden stops. Additionally, their ability to evade radar detection and operate seamlessly in restricted airspace raises questions about the technology and intentions behind these phenomena. One of the most immediate concerns is the violation of national airspace. UFOs have been reported near sensitive military installations, nuclear facilities, and critical infrastructure. These incursions represent a direct challenge to national sovereignty and security, as they indicate the presence of unknown entities with the capability to penetrate heavily guarded areas undetected. The erratic flight patterns of UFOs pose a risk to civilian and military aviation. Pilots have reported near collisions with these objects, highlighting the potential for catastrophic incidents. The presence of unidentified objects in busy airspace could lead to accidents and loss of life, necessitating the development of protocols to mitigate these risks. The technological superiority exhibited by UFOs raises concerns about their potential use for intelligence gathering and espionage. If these objects are controlled by a foreign adversary, they could be used to collect sensitive information, monitor military activities, and disrupt communications. The inability to identify the origin and capabilities of UFOs complicates efforts to counteract these potential threats. The presence of UFOs requires a re-evaluation of military preparedness and defense strategies. Traditional air defense systems may be inadequate to detect and counteract these advanced objects. Developing new technologies and tactics to address the UFO phenomenon is essential for maintaining national security. The advanced capabilities of UFOs suggest the existence of technologies that could revolutionize aerospace engineering and defense. Studying these objects and potentially reverse engineering their technology could provide significant strategic advantages. Governments must invest in research and development to uncover the principles behind UFO propulsion, materials, and stealth capabilities. The global nature of UFO sightings necessitates international collaboration. Sharing information, resources, and expertise can enhance our understanding of these phenomena and improve collective security. Establishing multinational task forces and agreements can facilitate coordinated responses to UFO incidents. Governments must adopt a transparent approach to investigating and reporting UFO sightings. The release of declassified documents and the establishment of dedicated UFO task forces can build public trust and ensure that these phenomena are taken seriously. Transparency can also encourage cooperation between governmental agencies and the scientific community. Educating the public about the potential risks and implications of UFO sightings is crucial. Misinformation and sensationalism can lead to panic and distrust. Providing accurate information and promoting scientific inquiry can foster a more informed and rational discourse on the subject. As of right now, the presence of UFOs in our skies represents a genuine and multifaceted national security threat. The advanced technological capabilities and unpredictable behavior of these objects pose risks to airspace integrity, aviation safety, and intelligence security. Addressing these threats requires a comprehensive approach that includes enhanced military preparedness, technological innovation, and international collaboration.